Anyway, we've got one more caller, and we do not have a lot of time. Nick in Virginia, I am so sorry. We do not have too much time, but if you could summarize, kind of what you wanted to say, maybe we can take that question afterward and wrestle with it a bit.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you all so much for taking my call. So I just wanted to speak very briefly. I'm an anti-theist. My girlfriend is an atheist. She brought up this thought a while ago, and we've kind of talked about it on and off. Essentially, at what point as an atheist do we draw a line between protecting other people from really harmful thoughts and oppression from people in Christianity or other religions targeting other people of faith? So essentially an example, where do we draw the line between protecting Islamic peoples from oppressive Christianity while also understanding that Islam is a religion that has its own troubles and essentially shouldn't be protected either?
Oh, man. All right. Who knows? Maybe we're going to lose a lot of viewers on this one. So here's my take. People are different from their ideas. Easy as that. You could be part of a people who maybe part, in some religion. So let's say we're talking about Muslims. We're talking about people who, it's a very, very diverse group. But there are Muslims out there. I'm not saying all of them, but there are Muslims out there who push for Sharia law. I'm not saying all of them, but that is a thought. I'm against that. Why? Same reason you are. We don't want religion to be the law of the land. We want everyone to kind of approach this from a level playing field, right? You should be protecting people. You should be looking out for people. And just because you're looking out for people doesn't mean you have to accept all of the ideas that they're bringing. And so if you can draw that line between the person and the idea, respect the person, the ideas are not necessarily deserving of respect, then hopefully we can start building that common ground, that we can build that society with each other, even if that means small steps, right? You could have plenty of Muslims who aren't, who don't want Sharia law, who don't want their religious views to be taught, or not just to be taught, but to be enforced legally. Cool. That's a moderate step. Well, we can go with that. We can go from there. You don't need to cast people down to take out their views. You focus on the views, and I think a big problem there is language. So there's a difference between a Jewish person and a cultural Jew, right? If you were raised Jewish, then you were raised in this way. You maybe celebrate certain holidays. Culturally, you could say I'm culturally a Christian. Why? Because I love a lot of things that I learned in church. That doesn't mean that I believe those things. It just means that it's part of my cultural inheritance. It's part of my heritage, and that's okay. And so if you mix that and you say you're persecuting Jewish people, by attacking their ideas, well, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're attacking people when you attack people. You're attacking ideas when you attack ideas. And I think that you shouldn't do the former, but you should absolutely do the latter. It's the same with Muslims. You can have somebody who's culturally raised that way, and all of a sudden, you start mixing their ideas with the people. And people do that all of the time. Heck, man, they did that in my church. In my church, I remember trying to challenge an idea and people being personally affronted and not understanding. They said, well, if you attack my beliefs, you're attacking me. We need to create that separation. And in doing so, I think we can draw those lines out. Now, let's see. Anyway, V, what do you think?
I love that. I think that you were spot on with that. My only suggestion would be a book. And if you're interested in checking it out, it's Our Non-Christian Nation: How Atheists, Satanists, Pagans, and Others Are Demanding Their Rightful Place in Public Life. And that's by Jay Wexler. And he talks about that exact question of how do we build a society that is humanistic and inclusive of everybody, while also making sure that we are challenging ideas that are harmful and moving away from ideas like theocracy or inclusion of church into state. So that's a book that I'm about halfway through, and it's really good. So they kind of talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, Eric, I think you hit the nail on the head with that.
Yay. Nick, hopefully that helps.
No, I think it's a really great definition of it, we'll say, or approach to it. So I really appreciate your all's insight.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you for calling in.
Have a good one, man.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a great one.
You too. Oh, wow. Today was really